Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to the garden on a very windy day. Oh my, it is a typical day on top of a dike today. Literally the wind travels from northeast, I believe. So it is a little bit of a fresh wind straight from the Baltic Sea. But you know what, I don't want to work in the front of the garden. I want to take you with me to the back of the garden. And I've been to the garden center and found two really beautiful, exciting plants. But I was like, okay, I need to put them in the ground today, wind or no wind, because I can't put them anywhere without them to tumble over. And I'm super excited. So I bought two Digitalis in a peach color. So obviously one of my favorite colors in the garden. And then what I want to do as well, I want to plant something that I grew from seed. They are Campanulas. I have no idea about the variety and I don't even know about the color because I visited a garden, 1.5 years ago, I would say. And it was a public garden and the Campanulas had seeds. So I was just like collecting them and they germinated well. The plants look really nice. So fingers crossed that they will be blue because obviously Campanula can also turn out to be white or on rare occasions pink. So when I plant them, blue would be preferable. I'm not even sure if they come to bloom this year, but yeah, what I want to do first, as always, just give you a look at the area, take you with me to the back of a garden and show you what I found in the garden center, show you how my Campanula seedlings are looking and hope that you are excited to join me in my garden today. All right, look who's having a jolly good time enjoying herself. I gave her a little bit of celery and she was just munging on it and then she forgot about it for a while and now she just found it again. So yeah, she's having a rest of her snack now, but I'm with you in the back of her garden. Now you can see, actually it looks like wonderful weather because the sun is out and it feels, if there was no wind, it would be really wonderful and warm. I think we have like 20 degrees Celsius right now, which is really moderate and beautiful. And you can tell to the left things in the new herbaceous border, they start looking a lot better already and things really start filling in. But I want to focus on this part of the garden today. This is an area where I hardly ever do videos with you or hardly ever plant anything. I remember we were planting some coleus there and some asters as well. And I just want to give you a quick tour of this entire area so you have an idea. What this is basically last year, pretty much a year ago, I suppose, I was just like sick of this entire area because there was just a hedge in the back of arborvitaes and then there was a chestnut here and that was it. There was nothing. There was just lawn all the way to the back to those arborvitaes. And at one point I was like, you know what, no, this is visually so not pleasing. So I just came with my spade, removed the turf by hand and just made a little bit of a flower bed. And then I was like, okay, I need to fill it, but I didn't really have a lot of plants at that momentum. So I still had these beauties here, Phlomis, if I'm not wrong, in yellow. This is the kind of yellow that I like. It's a very milky, kind of just like soft pale yellow, and especially in combination now with these pinkish roses that age to a beautiful peach tone. So very happy with those. Then I have a fig tree just in the back there, Veronicastrum that I grew from seed. They are all looking fantastic. There were a lot of Aquilegia in there in a really beautiful bluish, purplish tone. So I'll just give you one last quick look at them before they're finally going to peter out. And then I have beautiful foliage accents here from my Cadum. Verbena bonariensis is on its way. Then there are the asters. Here is a coleus that I planted with you. Typical for coleus here in this region, it kind of does nothing for at least a month or two and then out of nothing it decides to grow. So I'm just still waiting for that momentum to happen. But what I want to do is plant something here on this side of the flower bed, which gets a lot more, well, it gets more sun, yeah. Not a lot more, but it definitely gets more sun in general. And you can already see those beautiful Digitalis. They are just two plants. Can you believe it? Two plants fill out this entire space here. And one plant was 40 Polish zloty, which is roughly, I think, €8.50 or $9 US. So I thought, you know what, that is a nice, decent price for massive plants like these. I had the exact same plants there last year. Smaller ones though, I think 4 in total, and they just didn't come back after winter really. One came back, but it doesn't really do its business, to be fair. And I just love the combination here of this nappet at the front of the border and then with these beautiful flower spikes of the foxgloves. And I just want to give you a closer look at those Digitalis because as they age, they turn really creamy peachy color. But then as they open, they are more vibrant in color. So kind of like pinkish, peachish, really beautiful. There is absolutely no label at all. So I have no idea what variety I'm planting today, but you know what, they look beautiful, they make me happy, and they are pretty much doing the color concept that I have kind of in my mind for this side of the garden. So already I'm testing here. I'm really testing and seeing how all the colors come together, even with a little red accent. I am enjoying it. I thought that might be a little iffy if I'm really going to like it, but I think it works. And then I'm going to have a little drift of Campanula. There you're going to see these tiny black pots. I'm just going to plant them very dense and very close to another and see. But I've got one here, so you can tell how they look. So it's like one single stem. They kind of grown to nice sturdy size though, and then they were side branching out. Beautiful, really like healthy foliage. I'm not sure if they're going to come to bloom though. I wish they are, but let's see. It would be beautiful, obviously. So what I do is I will plant these dead level, and the same with the Digitalis. They are, by the way, already in planting holes, so they won't go any deeper to what they are right now. They're still in their containers, but I put them in the border, and with a blink of an eye, they just tumbled over as the wind was picking up. So I quickly just dug 2 holes, put them in there, still in their containers, so I still need to plant them properly. And that's exactly what I want to do now, just really get these plants into the ground. And as always, I plant them dead level, and then I put some organic bone chips in as a starting fertilizer. Just one quick word in case if this is the first time you ever discover my channel and my videos. I am at the south coast of the Baltic Sea, outside the city of Gdansk in Poland. Our soil here is very sandy and very well drained, which means a lot of the things that like those conditions thrive extremely well here, like grasses, for example. Miscanthus thrives incredibly good here. Also bearded iris, like I could divide them pretty much every single year. Digitalis, though, they prefer a little more of a rich soil, and maybe there is a reason why they peter out bit by bit though. Next to the garden shed, so if I swing around, there is a garden shed. There is an area which is more in partly shade, and there Digitalis, I have white ones there. They kind of self-seed, and they're kind of just like meandering through the border a little bit, like year by year they just find wherever they want to grow, and then they're doing their business because the soil there is just in general a little bit better. Wonder why? I really have no idea why it is. That was always like that. But what I will do when I plant everything is I will plant everything dead level as it comes in its container, and then I also give it a little bit of a starting fertilizer, and I use organic bone chips. So I just put a sprinkle in there, dig it all under, lofting up the soil, put it in, firm it in, and then mulch it. I'm not going to water today because we are expecting rain later on in the afternoon or early evening. So this is what I'm like, all right, don't need to water anything today. This is always a nice thing because I'm a little lazy with watering. One last thing that I'm going to do is, just as I was walking with you through the border, I think I might already start snipping back some of the Aquilegia stems that stop flowering or when they start set seed, because Aquilegia is one of those plants that thrives extremely well here, and they are self-seeding, which is beautiful. But I've got already so many Aquilegia, and I could tell you, just like having a glance in the situation on the border there, last year they were self-seeding, and I've got a lot of seedlings coming up now, and I don't want to have more. So this is also one thing that I'm just going to do, maybe as a little reminder for yourself if you're growing Aquilegia as well. And if you have enough plants and like, I don't need any more, so just come in there with your secateurs and snip it off as well. But what I want to do now is start planting my way through the border, because I think by the end of the video this will be so beautiful, even though the Digitalis, you saw them already in the border, but still I think that they will be really a wonderful addition to the back of a garden. Aren't these flower spikes of the Digitalis just impressive, especially now, like glowing torches in the afternoon sun? I really love them so much. Also in combination now with the pale violet of the Nepeta. And even though I haven't planned out this entire border at all, I think everything starts coming together and it looks really nice already this early on in the year, with the red foliage accent of the coleus there, these pinkish roses, then this really soft, delicate yellow from the phlomas, all these structures, the foliage from the cardoon. So I think this is really beautiful. Sadly enough, I couldn't really give you a before shot because I tried it though. And then the containers with these beautiful foxgloves, they tumbled over immediately. And I was so scared that any of these branches would snap. So I was like, no, I'm not going there. I don't want to jinx it. So in they go as soon as possible. So yeah, no before shot, but still, I think you really get to see how beautiful they are and what a lovely addition to the border they are in general. I think this border is really going to age really gracefully throughout this entire year because I have a nice drift of Aster Asteron here on the left looking green at the moment. Then there are the sedums that I showed you before. The Veronicastrum is going to come to bloom now for high summer. So yeah, I think all of this really starts coming together. And for something that I haven't planned and it's just like a testing ground for new color combinations of the garden, I really like it. I really love where this is going and I know what you will love, right? You're already with your stick there. You kind of woken up. You're like, yes, hello, play with me. There are just two more things. Well, I'm not really sure if I mentioned them before, so better be safe than sorry. So first about the Digitalis is that they are biennials. And that basically means if you try and grow them from seed, the first year they will produce a rosette of leaves, and then only the second year they come with these really glorious flower spikes, as you can see in my back. And if you allow them, they are an amazing self-seeder. So they produce a lot of seed and they find just the perfect location in the border where they want to thrive. But then obviously they will come the second year after. So if you always want to have Digitalis in your border, sow 1 year and then sow the second year again, because then you have this ongoing process. Having that said, there are some varieties that act a little more like perennials, and I'm pretty sure that this peach variety would be one of them if the location was ideal. So it didn't work last year, so I'm not really sure if it's going to work this year around, but you know what, I don't need a lot of them, and if I can just go to the garden center next year, I could just buy 2 again, make me happy, and if I don't want it, then I can just put something different there. Second thing I just quickly want to mention is about the Aquilegia. So if they want to start producing seed, and if they only have spatted flowers, it is sometimes a good idea to come in and snip those seed pods back or the stems back, because then the plant does not focus on like producing seeds or like use a lot of energy for the seed production. They will use the energy for nice foliage, and then you will have like a nice foliage crown still on the ground, and I think this is really beautiful as well. So yeah, those were the 2 last things that I really still want to mention. I just want to thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you love the outcome as much as I do. And obviously I'll be so happy to welcome you in my garden very soon again. Take care guys, bye.